So melatonin has good evidence in kids and those over 55 that it can help with particularly sleep onset, so falling asleep, and can improve sleep overnight. So for over 55s, you get about an extra 21 minutes per night of extra sleep if you use melatonin, which is pretty good over a week. And you probably fall asleep about sort of 8 to 10 minutes faster. So that one works. It's not available over the counter in the UK, though in other countries it's classed as a food supplement, and so you can buy it over the counter, for example, in Spain and the United States. But just be aware that the doses sometimes are a little bit variable. But melatonin definitely does have a role, and sometimes just having something that you take and that helps you stop worrying about sleep can be really helpful. The evidence is a little bit more mixed between childhood and 55, but often with studies, they kind of throw everyone together in a big group and it doesn't look at the individual. And so it might be worth something worth trying. So with teenagers, the theory behind it, there haven't been any long-term studies regarding melatonin and its safety. It's used really commonly, particularly in little ones with ADHD and autism spectrum disorder, and can be really, really helpful. And but there's a theory that it might impact puberty. It's at the moment more of a theory rather than any strong evidence. And for that reason, people tend not to recommend taking it for more than 4 weeks, except by specialist advice. But teenagers are actually a really interesting one, because a lot of the time it's not so much a sleep problem as such. It's more that their circadian rhythm tends to shift when they reach their teenage years. And this seems to be just a genetic thing that happens in your teens. And so they instinctively want to stay up late till kind of 1, 2, 3 in the morning. And they just don't want to get out of bed in the morning, because at 7 o'clock when their alarm goes off, it's equivalent to 2, 3 in the morning for us. And if anyone tried to get us up, then we would tell them to leave us alone. And so sometimes it's actually about circadian rhythms. And for those, actually, there's different treatments, mainly around trying to shift their circadian rhythm. And that would be for a period of time using melatonin, light therapy, and exercise. And sometimes you can get pretty good results, very good results at shifting them, but you need the teenager to be motivated, which sometimes is the main problem. And there's really good evidence that when they do it, that academically they perform better, they engage more, they enjoy the school experience better. And in the UK, the start times are not too bad. I mean, they could go back a little bit, particularly in those teenage years, but in the States, often they're starting at sort of 7 in the morning. And for a teenager, that's really tough. And so each of us have a kind of natural tendency towards being an early bird or a night owl, and that's set by our circadian rhythm and how long it takes for each of our cells to do 24 hours on the clock. But it's not 24 hours for everyone. Most people, it's a little bit more than 24 hours, which means we have a tendency towards being a night owl. And for teenagers, if they also have a tendency to be a night owl, then they get pushed back. For some of them, it's much, much more difficult. And so if you have kids that are really not engaging, sometimes it's worth having a conversation about kind of what's going on. Do they sleep in till 3 o'clock in the afternoon at weekends? Because they may have shifted their circadian rhythm, and just that pushing it back can make a difference.